Sheesh.
That's another. All running. They're running. They're running. They're gonna leave their members to die. Kill them all. Kill them all. Kill them all. Kill them all.
They're watching. They're watching now.
Kill their backline northeast. Kill their backline. Kill their backline, boys. Kill their backline. Spread now. Spread now. Spread now. Spread now. Spread now. Just look. Wrap from the south side. Yo, I'll play more northeast. Play north and the east here. Play northeast here. Play northeast here. Just wait. Spread. 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 Keep rolling with them. Look, all of your E's on inside on tanks. 5, 4, defense. 3, 2, 1. Inside now. Inside now. Inside now. Wipe the northwest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Northwest now. Northwest now. Northwest now. One drop them now. One drop them now. One drop them now. Spread now. Spread now. Keep rolling. Spread now. Keep rolling. Spread now. Keep rolling. Take the north side. Take the look. Come to east north. Come south north. Take the south side. Take the south side. Come east more. Come east. Defense. Defense. They're engaging. They're engaging now. They're engaging now. Heal northwest. Heal northwest. Good job. Good job. Look. Wipe down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wipe him inside. Wipe him inside here. Wipe him inside. Wipe them now. Wipe them now inside. Finish them. Behind them, spread. Take east behind them. Keep walking, that's fine. Keep fine. Walk. Hold them now, boys. Hold them now. They're engaging now. Heels inside. 4, 3, 2, 1. South on the front line right now. South on the front line. Delete their front line here. Load up. Heels inside. Keep step up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kill their front line now. Kill their front line now. Keep chasing them. Kill their front line. Heels inside. Brawl them now. Wrap west and east. Spread now. Keep rolling. Wait out. Help east. Good job. Heels inside. Look, you're gonna kill the guys inside of you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wipe the guys inside. Hold them. Spread. Declub. Defense now. That's one. Roll them now, boys. Roll them now. You're gonna wipe the choke. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wipe that choke right now. Wipe that fucking choke right now and come back southwest. Come back southwest here. Good job. Heels and tight. Spread. Tanks. Heal the front line. Tanks, hold the choke now. Pair. Heal. Tanks, hold the choke. Wait. Defense. Counter. Northeast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wipe them now. One drop these fucking losers. Run them down. Tanks, come through. Only tanks. Go. Push. North now. Up the hill. Everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wipe them north. Wipe them north. Heels inside. If you die right here, come back south.
Spread and brawl inside. Look, kill the people inside that are low. Spread.
Brimstone is north.
Careful on the south. You guys are clumped on the south. Look east inside. Defense here in the center. Look in center. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In the center now. Blow that up. Spread. Bomb north. Look, spread and brawl. Look, they're gonna look to engage here. Look, spread out the center. You guys are clumped in the center. Spread. You guys are clumped in the center. Look, counter east in 5. Step in. 4, 3, 2, 1. East now. Blow that fucking shit up. And come back west. Look, they're scared. They're fucking scared. Look northwest wall. 5. My crown. 4, 3, 2, 1. Northwest wall. It's a headbutt. Spread south now. Spread south with heals.
7-3 gallas inside of us.
Demon. Heal that.
They're watching.
Heal that. Careful the choke. Do not cross the choke. Look, everyone up west. Everyone up the choke west.
Watch out the south wall.
Everyone up choke west. They're full running. Step in. Beautiful. Look, come south now. Come south now.
They're facing us west now.
Yes. Come south.
I'm gonna hold our back. I'm gonna hold our back.
Engaging south.
Any help?
Look, tank step in now.
I'm knight
on the
Hamilton.
choke. On the choke.
Knight Hamilton.
5, 4,
Okay, I'm gonna
3, 2, 1
walk
on the choke now. On the choke now. And careful north.
That's Ricky
Careful north. Kill that and come back southeast. Full spread here. Spread. Tanks walking out. Look south around the rock. In 3, 2, 1 on the rock now. Look, one shot fucking these fucking dogs. One shot these dogs. Walk in this spread. Look, brawl inside.
Party one east here. Look, good job.
Okay,
Come back southwest. Pull them in. Look.
The plane inside me.
Look, get ready. Full set northeast. 5,
The plane inside me.
4,
Deep
3,
northeast.
2,
I'm gonna stay mountain.
full set northeast. Full set northeast here. Come back west. Walk into them.
I'm looking.
Defense. Tanks walk into them now. Push forward.
I feel the who's
41 on the road. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 41 on the road here. 41 northeast. 41 northeast. Keep running that.
I have to go back.
Me too. I'm going in. I'm gonna switch for you. I'm going in. Go back.
I need to come back. I need to.
Yeah. I'm
I'm going back in.
going in.
Yeah, the north is their bomb. Actually, wait.
They're following.
Go with everything.
That's Panaman.
We all good.
You guys
Bomb
wrap
northeast.
behind them. Wrap behind them. Look, dismount. Everybody
I fear them.
Look, ball them out.
Place and northeast ahead.
Bomb coming.
They're walking.
Walk in. They're so clumped. Walk in, boys. Walk in now. Just walk with them. In the middle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One shot them! One shot these fucking dogs! Dude!
I go deep south.
Okay, me too. I'm gonna.
Stop these!
I'm watching southwest.
These fuckers! Stop your shit! Delete these kids! And spread over! Run them down, man! Fucking dogs!
It's Panaman.
Kill them all, man! My tanks hold them. Get ready. They're gonna engage. Look. They use and engage. Save your ease now. Walk. Look. Keep walking. Look. Hold them. Keep holding them. Fakes now. Northeast on the road. 5, 4,
I don't see anything
3,
DP right
2,
now.
Yeah, I don't see
Northeast on the road
anything
now. Northeast on the road now. Delete the road.
Maybe deep
Watch them
northeast.
run. Look, keep killing them. Careful north side. Defense now. Look, tanks
There's nothing on first side.
Tanks walk in. Hold them. Walk now. Wrap them from the sides, boys. East into the valley. 5, defense. 4, 3, 2, 1. East into the valley. Beautiful white. Wipe them now. And beat and keep walking.
Yo, stop them on the road. Let me go back.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Northeast.
That's fine.
It's over. Wipe them out. Beautiful job. One shot them all. Chase them all. Yo, just be careful. Careful now. Spread north to south. Be careful. Look, they're hitting inside. Look, east on the front line. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. East on their front line now. East on the front line now.
Yeah, they're hitting.
Come back west. Defense now. They're countering. Heels inside. Look.
Thing with Henry dead, right?
Yeah, I kinda did.
Hold. Spread. Second engage. Spread. You're gonna hit south. Upstairs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. South upstairs.
Come back to
Full delete that. Smash that right there. Beautiful job. And follow with your west.
They're watching now.
Stabilize on the west. Kill the guys on the west. D-tanks, keep pushing in. He
Play safe, I have nothing.
Smash them! Smash somebody now! Smash
Oh,
these
they're
now!
turning north now.
And push them northeast! Push them northeast! Kill the guys inside of you, southwest! Heal the northeast more!
They're bombing through
Heal
northeast, but it's
more.
southeast
Heal
of the
northeast
fucking
more.
water.
What? Kill the
They're
guys
northeast
inside
on
of
the
you!
bridge, they're bombing.
Kill the
Okay.
guys inside of you!
That's right.
Kill the guys inside of you! Look inside! Drop these fucking dogs!
They're running, right?
Run them over, man!
Yeah, they're
Run them over,
running.
run them over! Kill them all, kill them all, kill them all! Kill them all, kill them all!
Look, dismount, spread. Careful, they're gonna look on the west side, they're gonna look on the east side, Look, raven them now, Pop food OC, careful on the northeast, Raven OC now. Look, OC, food. To the north. Look, in the middle, on my crown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in the middle now on my crown. Blow this fucking shit up. Now spread now. Look, we're all just gonna set them. Brawl. Bleed them. Look, step out of the center. Look, they're gonna look to engage the center. Step out of the center. Look, step in and brawl. Look southwest on Dell. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on Dell. Streams. Pop boots and catch him. Catch him now. Blow the shit up. Now spread. Yo, step in north. Look, tanks hold them on the road. Look, west in the trees. 5, 4 on my crown. 3, west in the trees. Guys, where's the damage? Blow it up. And look on the road. 5, on the road. 4, 3, 2, 1 on the road now. Spread out of the center. Wrath, you still alive? No. Spread out of the center. Try to get out.
They're gonna be in. That's fine. Take the west base more. Pull them into you. Come northeast. There's already somebody breaking it. In Asgard, look at it. Look southeast. Look east now. Look southeast. Come. Keep taking that west around. Take that west around. Good job. Take the west around. Look inside. Look here. Come the guys inside. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. South inside. Wipe that now. Look. Spread. Brawl that now. Brawl that now. Slowly take that west.
South.
Take that place west. Defense south. Good job.
On the northeast side,
Look.
Second front is nothing.
Look, keep rolling these guys inside of you. Look, east on the road. Northeast, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Northeast on the front line. Blow up their front line here. Blow up their tanks. And keep running them. Kill the guys on the north. Here.
They're watching
keep killing them.
them.
Tanks look northeast. Push northeast. Hold them. Hold them. Deep northeast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Watch the outpost side.
Wipe them now and keep chasing them. Wipe them now and keep chasing them. Run them over. Food eat these kids. Food eat these fucking dogs, man. They might look west flank. That's fine.
They're
We can hold this.
west, southwest.
Yeah, let them.
No?
We're gonna farm them for this one hideout.
I mean, yeah, but they're gonna keep coming.
Come.
I have a tank that we're just turned to the southeast that's dismounted.
We're gonna have guys that are gonna have fucked up OC guarding like multiple hideouts. Hold your ground now. Let them come in and brawl.
I'm gonna look at
I see you. Walk southeast. They're running.
They're crossing the bridge.
Put them in southeast. 1, 3, 2, 1. Smash them now. Food eat them now. Roll them now. We killed Taka as well. Count all them. Keep rolling them. Roll them now. Kill the guys inside of you. Push. Southeast on Taka. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. These down. Chase them down. That's fine. Look, keep walking northwest on the front line. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull the front line now. Pull them now and brawl them. Here, and kill these guys inside of you.
I'm gonna rush the Zach to the southwest. I'm watching south here.
I'm dead, guys.
On the road. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On the road. Brawl, boys. Heals inside. Regroup with me on the south side when you can. spread and regroup with me on the south side. Look south, look south, look south.
Southwest
Control
bomb.
south. Control south. Look south now. Inside. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inside south, inside south, inside south, inside south, inside south. Come southwest, come south and ball the south side. Ball the south side. Ball the south side. Heels inside, heels inside. Ball the south side, ball the south side. Look, look, look. Where's our healers? Healers, healers. Come south, boys. Like a 20-30%. It's fine though. I'm just gonna regroup in chasm. Door. Wipe the door. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wipe the door now. Come back now. Come back now. Come back now. Come back. Door is broken. Door is broken. East, east.
Nice.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just wipe the front line and come back. Wipe the front line here. Wipe the front line. Come back. Come back now. Come back now. Come back now. Come back now. Back now. Back now. Back now.
Let's Goblin choke, John. Goblin choke. Not gonna lie, if they walk in, that's it.
Come back. Come back. Come back. Come back. Come back. Come back, come back, come back, come back, come back, come back, come back. Look, 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 come back east. They're about to run us over. Come, spread now, spread now, spread now. Look, we're gonna counter west. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Counter west now, counter west now, counter west now, counter west now. Totally the west side, totally the west side. Beautiful job. One stop them. Look, kill. Spread now, and hold. Spread now and hold, spread now and hold. Spread. Defense now, defense now, defense now. Hold your ground. Don't run. Ball defense now. Look careful. They're looking. Wait, pull them in. Come east. Pull them in. Look, wrap the sides. We're gonna counter hard. Get ready. Wait. Southwest. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Southwest now. Totally them. And look, come northeast. Inside of you. Wait. Spread and get out. Defense, spread and get out. Full spread and get out.
Q just got in.
Come. It's late. Come. Spread and get out.
Hold, just hold now. They're coming from the high ground. Tanks look up high ground. Tank look at high ground. Come west now. Come west. Full west. Northwest, look northwest. Inside 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Northwest on my crown. Please hit them. Right on the south side. Spread. Heals. Keep coming sides.
Bomb squad this side.
Keep coming sides. Heals.
Don't kill bomb squad this.
Southeast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Southeast inside. Full. Come side. Please. Come side. Keep coming sides. Just leave, bro. Come side.
Walk in! 5 southeast! 4, 3, 2,
Watch out,
just kill the
Watch out,
front line here! Kill the front line here! And then come back! Good job! Pull them in! Be careful! They're gonna engage again! Tanks hold them! Heal my west side, boys! Good job! Heals east now! Careful now! Tanks come through! Be careful! They're gonna engage this east side! Defense now! On this east side! Defense! Perk out now! Good job! You guys got good perks! Look! Slowly break in! Care! They're gonna hit! South deep! Into the room! 4, 3, 2, south deep! Into the room here! Somebody scream! Into the room! Ball them now! Inside the room! Ball them now. Deep. Hold them. Southeast wall. 3, 2, 1. Southeast wall now. Totally them. One shot them now. Totally them. Kill them all. Ball them inside of you. Tanks from northwest. Let's go. Spread.